Hello everyone and welcome to the next video on this channel. My name is Peps and I welcome you to the review of the day 3 of the G1 Climax 2025 series. We have 5 matches in the A block, and I would say first of all thank you all for the support on the first 2 episodes. I don't have much time today, so because of course of my exams, so we will just jump right into the 5 matches of the A block. The first match was Kellum versus Oiwa. 2 young guys kicked off the A block night, and it was very interested how they will do, as those 2 had mainly good matches against wrestlers that are considered consistent names. I would say in terms of Kellum, it's just his skill level isn't that good yet to carry a match. Meanwhile, Oiwa just doesn't have the experience in these kind of situations. So I was interested to see how they will do. And spoiler alert, I think they did it really well. It started off well with fast-paced action as Kellum outpaced Oiwa to get the control early, including throwing him into the guardrail on the outside. Shortly after Kellum started to sell his knee again, that Evil and especially Tanahashi went for the days prior and instantly set up not only a potential match story but also for him in the entire tournament. In general, it feels like they have a clear plan from the booking management for Kellum, and that is that he's improving his selling. At least that's my theory. Because let's be real, his selling is his clear weakness, and it's something he needs to improve on. So giving him the chance in 9 matches, likely to improve his selling by his opponents going for his knee in all of his matches is a very interesting way to see that improvement over this tournament. And I think the G1, I've said it before, is perfect for these kind of situations. Tournament matches against top stars, against mid-carders, against, I wouldn't say undercarders, I don't think he has an undercard here, but you get my point, where you wrestle in every single situation differently and need to adapt to all of these kind of situations. The shift of control started with Oiwa working over the leg of Kellum, and Kellum always tried to get into the match with his kicks, but of course it hurt him as it was worked over and he needed to sell it. And in my opinion, he did well enough here. Oiwa countered one of his kicks into a leg lock. There was an example of that where Kellum went for a roundhouse style kick and Oiwa just caught him right into the lock. That was very well done. Kellum also went for the Oscutter, but Oiwa reacted quickly because, of course, when you do the Oscutter, you do the typical Osprey thing where you just clap in your hands. Oiwa realized that, went for the German suplex, and that was just a great setup for this move and the final momentum shift in the match. Shortly after, Oiwa wins clean with the grip in a very good match. I thought the finishing stretches had some offs, but in general, I found this over-delivered massively. Both of these wrestlers had a really good outing here. I just can't really complain much. I can't really complain much about it, considering who they are and what their role is in this specific match. Moving on to the second A block match, we have Hiroshi Tanahashi facing Bolton, and this pretty much was the match that will show how Tanahashi will be booked in this tournament. As of right now, before this match, he was in 98 wins and only needs 2 more to reach the magical 100 wins in the G1 Climax. And my theory before the tournament was that he ends at 6 points, and with his final win coming against Evil on the final day of the A block to reach the magical number of 100 wins. We will see if that comes true or not. And because I feel like this would be the perfect way to do that, right? Tanahashi going over just the top heel on the final day, spoiling him to not advance in the tournament, will also get the 100 wins, and the fans begging for him to win this match to get the 100 wins, because of course that's what you want. At the same time, I think there's also a very interesting story how Evil spoils him on the final day to get the 100 wins, and Evil goes through instead, and you have the heel moment. You can't do both, in my opinion. For Bolton versus Tanahashi, they had a G1 playoff match last year, which Bolton won, as well as them, of course, being never 6-man champions together. So I was interested to see how they will work this. And they worked a very good opening stretch with Bolton having to control what the crowd cheese the ace on. The momentum shifted a bit with Tanahashi hitting a center that looked really scary as hell, because Tanahashi's no big dude. He makes jokes about his weight and everything, but he's legitimately a big dude, and the sand looked like it hurt so much. Tanahashi then followed up with a good German suplex to get the first 2 count in. That started off the finishing stretch with Tanahashi countering the kamikaze attempt into a roll-up, got the twisted shout through after a solid struggle, and then followed up with another two twisted shouts and a sling blade. Tanahashi then went for the high fly flow, powered up, but Bolton used a little break that he got to recover, hit the Bolton driver to a good near fall. The crowd was really into every single near fall. They cheered on Tanahashi, wanted to see him win, and Tanahashi used that to get to the next level. As he countered the F5 attempt into a sling blade midair, followed up with another sling blade for a really good near fall. Then he powered up one final time, went for the high fly flow, but Bolton saw it once again coming, stood up. Tanahashi then went for the high fly attack. Bolton caught him mid-air. Like, this is really impressive because, dude, Tanahashi is so big these days, right? Like I said, Bolton hits the kamikaze to win the match with a fantastic finish. And that was another really good match to kick us here off in the A block. The A block is so good so far, and it continues here with a good match between Tanahashi and Bolton. Tanahashi does way better than I thought in these opening matches because we have seen this, right? In his other matches, of course, against weaker opponents. But the higher he's on the card, the better his singles matches get. Bolton, on the other side, this dude is fantastic. Like, all three of his matches against Tanahashi, against Oiwa and Uemura were at least good. I think this was likely his worst match so far, but still, like, really good. I would give it like 3.25 stars, so I'm really happy with how this went. Bolton is going to be that dude. I can't repeat that. That dude is going to be awesome. And now we move on to the match that everyone have been waiting for. The match that many would call the greatest match of all time. Maybe many would call the biggest match of 2025. We have Sonata versus Evil. House of Torture versus House of Torture in the G1 Climax. For the first time ever, we have a House of Torture versus House of Torture matches. And everyone who knows these Bullet Club type of matches against each other, they can be very in-ring compelling, or they just can be old bullshit. Here it was, okay, it's either going to be legitimately funny or just bad, because it's House of Torture on top. So I was very interested to see how they will do that. It started off with Evil cheating to get the early control when Sonata went into Evil's corner to do the House of Torture pose with him. When Sonata then tried to cheat, Finlay and Togo both like stood ringside and told him no, and pretty much stopped him, which was like very funny to see how boys they are in this. Then they two brawled out, and Sonata threw Milano right into threw Sonata. Then they brawled out, and Sonata just threw Evil right into Milano, who took like one hell of a bump, which was like really funny. Because normally in Evil matches, the announcer takes the bomb from the front, but Sonata just went outside of it and just threw Evil into Milano, which was like very funny. Evil then got his revenge back when he threw Sonata into the ring announcer to another reaction from the crowd that was like very loud. Like in general, the crowd was very loud the entire night. Sonata crowds can be rough, but they were especially really loud for these two. Like, this match just had all the gimmicks that you can expect from Evil match in the best way possible used, because most of the time they are just very boring or just not interesting for me. But here it was very well done. Like, Sonata had Evil in the skull end, but Kanemaru rang the fake bell to distract, of course, Sonata, the referee, once again, that Evil can get, once again, the crowd get the control back. Then Sonata was locked into the Scorpion Deathlock, and Kanemaru, who just sided with Evil, pulled the ref out and pulled over the referee's shirt, and is now the new referee in this match. And it's got like a loud reaction from me, because it's like so stupid that Sonata and Evil with Kanemaru as the referee, right? Like, he was the guy that was the referee in one of the Show versus Taichi matches, I believe, and ever since he does this gimmick like a couple of times. Then the match followed up with a cool finishing exchange with counters with Evil, of course, then going for the deadfall, which was countered again. Everything is Evil attempt from Sonata, and then both are down both are going down, and then of course Sonata, I think, went for a roll up, and 1, 2, and then the referee was pulled out again. But like, Kanemaru was the referee, so everyone is wondering, okay, who pulled him out? Kanemaru goes to the outside, and it's the original referee, Mari Isami, was then stomped on Kanemaru, pulled over the ref shot again to a monster pop by the crowd. Shortly after, the Sonata rolled up Evil to end the match with another big pop by the crowd. And I think this is the best match of the year. No, jokes aside, I think this was like very well done. And I think this is like the best version of a Sonata vs. Evil match that we can get. In general, I need to say, I think Sonata has already over-delivered in terms of like his match output, because coming into this tournament, I was unsure how he's going to deliver. And I think in terms of what he's supposed to be, like this veteran having shorter matches, I think he has done very fantastic in this role. Moving on to the semi-main event. Taichi versus David Finlay, a rematch from a very good IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship match that ended with Sonata turning on Taichi to help David Finlay get the win. Now they will be 1-1, clean, without any interferences. And I was very hyped for this one. And they didn't disappoint. They started off very well and very slow, with Taichi clocking Finlay with an elbow strike as the big moment in the early 5 minutes. And then, of course, Taichi had his big firing up moment shortly after, which Finlay cut off. That was followed up by Taichi cutting off Finlay, hyping himself up with an awesome axe bomber. And that was like a really cool moment between those two. They picked up the pace very well and had good sequences with good climaxes. For example, there was a sequence that ended with Finlay forearming Taichi at the ropes, but Taichi throws Finlay over the rope with a dangerous backdrop driver, which was like a callback to the title match, which was very well done. And Taichi got Finlay back at the ring instantly and hit one hell of an axe bomber. Like, Finlay took the bump tremendously. In general, I think he bumped so well and this made Taichi so good. Like, if you are a young guy or wrestler in general, you just want David Finlay to be your opponent. He makes sure you look good. And he also makes sure that you look the best that you can. Like, Finlay is one of the best workers in terms of just making not only himself, but everyone around him look great. One of the most he's one of the most safeless wrestler alive. And I think that is very admirable, in my opinion, because he doesn't need to do that. Like, he just can look as cool as he can, go out there, have a banger match. Maybe he would even move up the card more than he does already. And this started a very good counter sequence with Finlay countering the follow-up of Taichi with a roll-up into the Oblivion for a great near fall. Then went for the powerbomb, but Taichi counters it into Rana into the turnbuckle. Then an overkill attempt, countered into the rolling elbow attempt, once again countered by Taichi, who went there for the Black Mephisto attempt, but Finlay rolled through and hit the buckle bomb, and the crowd went absolutely nuts and clapped for them. They were like fantastic. Then instantly after, overkill counter into the roll-up, into another get up clutch. 1, 2, fantastic near fall. The crowd bit every single one of them. Taichi then went for the kick, hit it, Black Mephisto, and beats David Finlay in around 30 minutes in a tremendous match that was well wrestled, greatly built up, and had a strong ending. Like, Taichi is clearly the MVP 3 matches in, with his fantastic match against Tanahashi, with his fantastic match against Uemura, and now his fantastic match against David Finlay. Like, all of these matches were legitimately at least 4 stars in my opinion. I love this dude. And for that he wasn't planned to be in a G1 Climax, officially he clearly was. Spoiler alert. There was like clearly work. I think he has done tremendously so far in these 2 spots. In these 3 spots, he got 2 main event spots, 1 at cinema. I can't really complain about anything he did. Finlay on the other side continues to be like super consistent. This dude is just great. Like, this dude just does everything he does great, at least. So we can't really complain anything else about this match. I think this deserves 2 thumbs up. Let's not waste any time and jump right into the main event. Yota Tsuji versus Yuya Uemura. A year ago, in this exact venue in Sendai, Uemura injured his elbow against Tsuji that kept him out for 7 months. I believe until, 7 months. August till March was the first time he wrestled against Sonata in the Japan Cup. And here he has the chance for his redemption. In general, Uemura and Tsuji are built up as these 2 rivals in the new generation. And while they have battled multiple times, I believe this is their 5th match, singles match since the return of Uemura from excursion. A straight-up great match is just missing so far. New Japan still puts them together, likely with the hope that they have the chemistry one time and get a great match out of them. Because, of course, when you don't have the chemistry instantly, you just try to build it up. Personally, I feel like while Yuya and Tsuji have done much, much better stuff outside of each other, their matches get better every time they are stepping into the ring. And spoiler alert, I think this is also what happened here. The match started off with a cool 50-50 chance for both Uemura and Tsuji, following up with a good opening sequence. So the crowd was into it very early on, where behind both guys, which is important for, of course, these guys. And they worked a very heating up opening 10 minutes with slow but good pace, where things mattered, including like a cool Spanish fly around the 12-minute mark. Like the first half of this has been worked significantly better than all of the other matches so far. Like Tsuji in general is like a guy, he can have a very paced match. Tsuji in general is like a guy who can have a really technically well-paced match and go Spanish fly, and that's why he's like so cool, and that's like why he is a future top star in the company in terms of like world title holder, because this guy just can do everything. He needs to work a bit on his matches to go like over 25 minutes, but that is just something that comes with experience, right? Like even Okada, who's like, in my opinion, maybe the best big match wrestler that the modern ever had, even he was like someone that had great matches. Like, of course, like it's not a comparison to Tsuji because it's a bit unfair, because even Okada, like when he was like not a good big match work, had like, of course, bad outings, but even he had like weaknesses in this game early on. This Spanish fly then was followed up with a 6 slap exchange as the crowd got more and more into the match, including one hell of a slap on the chest of Uemura by Tsuji that's like hauled through the entire Senna Plaza Hall. Uemura then followed it up after he won the slap exchange, going to the top rope, hit the splash that hurt him in the last year, but Tsuji was able to roll away, so Uemura landed to nothing, grabbed his arm instantly, and like kind of sold like it was an arm injury. The ref instantly went to him, checked on him. The crowd was a bit, Tsuji was still concentrated, set up the Gene Blaster, ran towards Uemura, but Uemura surprised him with an arm drag. Like he kind of made it clear, okay, I faked the arm injury to get into the head of Tsuji and used a little bit of moment that he gets out of it to get the offense or to get the momentum back to him. Then he went for a deadbolt suplex. That was once again struggled. I love this deadbolt suplex struggle, to be honest. It's like one of the best things that Uemura has had added to his matches. Tsuji this time escaped with headbutts, went for the Gene Blaster, but Uemura surprised him with an elbow and a German suplex. This was followed by a bridging German suplex to close to count, and then the splash once again that injured Uemura originally. This time it hit to another 2 count. For the deadbolt suplex struggle, I want to add, I love how everyone escapes differently. Like Taichi grabbed the tights and hit the sumo move, while Bolton just hit the overhead belly to belly suplex, and this time here Tsuji does just headbutts to escape. I think this was like very well done. Then we hit the final minutes where Uemura went once again for a splash, but this time Tsuji hits a mid-air Gene Blaster, sets up another Gene Blaster, but Uemura gets the Frankenstein in for another 2 count. The near falls got the crowd really rolling, and then Tsuji hit one more Gene Blaster attempt. This time hits it and wins the match in around 17 minutes. And I thought this was a great match. They're by far best match together. It was well worked. They got the crowd in well. I feel like this could have gone like 2 or 3 minutes longer, because I think they had the magic to go 25. Not 25, to go 20 and have like a 4-ish, not a 4-star match, but instead like a 4.5-ish star match. And I think they were a very good direction for that. In general, to give my opinions on the overall day, I think all 5 G1 Climax matches delivered for it in its own way, and I think the show got better with every single match. Like in general, this was one of the best New Japan shows, in my opinion, because every single match is something that I personally have enjoyed. And I would say the final 2 matches rank very high on the best matches of the tournament list. Bolton vs Tanahashi would also rank around like 7th place now. With and like behind all the Taichi matches and behind Sonata, Finlay, so around like that. I'm hyped for the upcoming A block days. I think that the block is just way more balanced than the B block, and I think this show just shows it. I'm still looking forward to the B block tomorrow because Shota Uemura versus Exeter Jr. is the main event there. And this is just kind of a match. I want to see how they will redeem themselves after their Tokyo Dome match. It was kind of like, I know, seen weird, if not bad, especially for Tokyo Dome main event. So let's go over to my stat sheet. We have once again, this time just the A block matches. So I will just go through the A block results. We have Bolton, Oleg, Evil, Ryohei, Oiwa, Taichi, and Yota Tsuji all on the first place with 4 points. Kellum, Mura, David Finlay, Hiroshi, Tanahashi, Sonata, Yuya Uemura, all tied with 2 points on the 6th place. Then going to the match times, we have Taichi on first with 52 minutes and 58 seconds of combined match time and an average time of 17 minutes and 39 seconds. Number 2 is Yuya Uemura, then Tanahashi, Finlay, and so on and so on. Last place in the A block in terms of match time is Sonata for a combined match time of 22 minutes and 5 seconds. As I said earlier, he will likely be the veteran, similar to what Yoshihashi seems to be, that will have like these short matches to give people a night off, but also wrestle a good enough match to not feel like a wasted spot. And with that, thank you all for listening. I will record tomorrow when I have the time for it because I can't watch live tomorrow. I originally didn't expect that I will be watching live today, but I did. So we will see when it comes out tomorrow. Until then, bye-bye.